Hey Steve, what's 6 foot long and keeps a warm? A Man City scarf. Have a bit of that sunshine. Hey, how we doing everybody? It's Kev Ashford back for the Van Cam on the biggest Man United fan channel in the land. This is the United Stand, and thank you very much for dropping a view on this. And whilst you're here, you might as well, you know what's coming, you might as well just finger that like button, get it done, it's all dusted, and then you can just sit back and be entertained for 10 minutes. This is your Aston Villa versus Manchester United preview. We're going to be looking very briefly back on a really impressive display against West Ham at Old Trafford. We'll be looking at injury news and stuff. We've got it all covered. Frankie de Jong, new stadium. How do we fit this into 10 minutes? Let's go, let's try and do this. So briefly, man, we go back to West Ham. A very good performance over a 90-minute period, seeing Manchester United take the 3 points. The main issue or sort of talking point from this, the main downer as a Manchester United supporter, was the fact that Lisandro Martinez, the old Argy Butcher, well, he's not old, anyway, you know what I mean, got an injury which will rule him out for the next couple of months, which in theory, if you look at it, rehabilitation, coming back into the team, is probably season over, really. And it's a you know, against West Ham, it's a hammer blow. It's no pun intended. You get hammers, yeah, hammer blow. It was a hammer blow against West Ham. It leaves us with certain options at the back. Obviously, Varane didn't start against West Ham, so against Aston Villa, you are looking probably of a partnership. If you want it solid, Harry Maguire and Varane probably playing centre-back, but we'll look into a bit of the team news later on. There is other news that is making Manchester United news, the news of the new stadium. I haven't had my say on it yet, and what I want you to do is, because this is a pre-recorded video, I told you this last week, at the end of the video, I'm always in there, I'm scanning about, I'm looking for the people who say that I look like Lee Mack, and I'm like, come on, you're on a bit, you want some? Like the Wheelstone Raider, man, I'm giving out big licks. I'll be in there and I will have a look at what you say. I respond to it and all that. The new stadium, obviously Ineos are trying to throw down their kind of vision for Manchester United of the future and the Wembley of the North. This was the headlines this week. Manchester United looking, you know, at redeveloping or possibly building a brand new stadium right next to Old Trafford. And it does open up loads of possibilities. As an older supporter, I know what you're thinking, Kev, you don't look a day over 20, and I'll take that from you. But, you know, as somebody who's an older supporter, it tugs at the heartstrings of Kev. You know, I don't really want to see Manchester United leave Old Trafford. It is steeped in history. You think of the Busby Babes played there, you know, so many iconic moments, so many iconic players. You know, it was bombed in the war, for Christ's sake, and it was managed to be rebuilt, and I love that history. These new stadiums, yes, they're lovely and fancy, but you lose something, don't you? Now, what I'm going to say to you, at the same time, I am not going to be naive or selfish. That's a word I'm going to use. Football for me now, you know, I've moved on a little bit, and considering my age again, and I look at the next generation, you know, my kids, my lad Georgie, he's like 13. He would love a new stadium. He's seen what Tottenham have done, you know, the likes of other clubs like Arsenal and that. And it's for the next generation. Now, I take that into consideration, and I have to say, I get it. I get it. And as soul destroying it as it'll be for me, who cares about me? Who cares about the old guard? It's all about the next generation, and if it can create more money for Manchester United, it's a winner. It really is. I'd love to see them retain some kind of bits of Old Trafford, which I'm sure they would do if this does go ahead. But yeah, it tugs at the heartstrings, but I can see it from the next generation's point of view. They won't be going to a stadium where they're getting literally rained on, sat inside, you know, the roof's leaking, the concourses are too, you know, they're too compact. You know, we need it, we do, and I agree, you know, we need a state-of-the-art club. If we want to be the biggest in the world, which a lot of people argue we are the biggest club, but to be back competing on the football front of things, Manchester United need the best facilities, and it's certainly exciting times. Hopefully Sir Jim Ratcliffe isn't trying to pull the wool over our eyes and say all the right things, but there is no smoke without fire. Comment section, let me know. Should Manchester United rebuild a new stadium or redevelop? You know, you see what they've done at the Bernabeu, it's absolutely sensational, but United have got a few issues on the south stand with obviously a railway line that runs behind it and stuff, so we'll have to see. You know, I'm not worrying about it. It's not my job, you know. I get paid to do just drive around and talk nonsense to you lot. But other news that's been in the Manchester United news, Frankie de Jong to Manchester United has reared its head again. I can't deal with it. Not another summer of this. It's coming. Oh yes, it's coming. It's Groundhog Day, Frankie de Jong. And people will ask me, you know, Kev, would you take Frankie de Jong at Manchester United? And I would answer it the exact same way if Michelle Keegan approached me and said, Kev, do you fancy hitting up KFC? Me and you a bargain bucket, you know, a bit of small talk and we'll see where it goes. Hell yeah, I want a piece of that. And Frankie de Jong, I want a piece of that as well, you know. Yeah, Frankie de Jong, of course, he improves Manchester United. Casemiro, we look at his legs and the longevity of a player like that. And if you've got a player like de Jong next to Kobe Mainoo, who's been absolutely sensational this season so far, it really mixes up the midfield and the dynamics of the midfield. That's the engine room. Imagine that with Bruno a bit further forward. Oh, now we're cooking. Get the old frying pan out, give it a bit of a flip and have a bite of the steak. Really, really exciting. Obviously, the Martinez news is it does put a downer on the season. But let's look ahead to Aston Villa against Manchester United. This is match day. It's the feel-good factor. Loads of people in the comment section last week were saying that they love the Van Cam now on the United stand. It's part of their match day ritual. So I salute all of you. But if we're looking at a starting 11, obviously we're looking at the back. I mean, Luke Shaw picks himself because the injuries at the moment. Malacia is still out. Martinez, who I've just said. Wan-Bissaka the last few weeks has been picking up niggly injuries here and there. And then there's also a fella, what's his name again? Let me have a think. Mason Mount. Remember him? No, I don't either. Mason Mount. It's hard to judge Mason Mount because he's not really had a run of games. Seems to be injured. Seems to be a bit more active on the old TikTok social media side of things than he has actually been on the pitch for Manchester United. But we'll only be able to judge him as a signing if he gets into this team. And I thought it was quite interesting that Beth was interviewing Chris Wheeler, who's like a journalist, and he believes that Mason Mount wasn't a Ten Hag signing. The club actually signed him. And I think that's really interesting because there's loads of players that you think back of, what's he called? Donny van der Beek and that. I just never got signings like that. And I thought this must have been more the club pushing for these kind of signings. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it within 10 minutes here. So back to the Aston Villa starting or Man United starting 11. Who would Kev go for? In net, we're going for Onana goes in between the sticks. He needs a good game, doesn't he? He's certainly looked a bit shaky and wobbly. And if there's one thing, if that breeds into the back line, you know, it just spreads through the team. Onana is in there for me. Luke Shaw is going left back because he's the absolute best in the business and I won't have a bad word said about him. And then the partnership at the back is the one that will probably get most of you talking. I'm going Varane and I'm going Harry Maguire. I don't know why I'm doing that. Harry Maguire is going in there, you know, against West Ham. There was a couple of moments where he got caught out, but if he can just get that out of his game, he's solid, he's good in the air. There will be an aerial threat from Aston Villa today, and Harry Maguire is capable of dealing with that. And when you've got Varane, who missed the game against West Ham, he'll be fresh, he'll be coming back in. I think Ten Hag's looking ahead at these games. I'm thinking, who can I get in? Varane, injury prone. Right back is Dalot, picks itself. You've got Casemiro. Why am I struggling with that again? Casemiro. We've got Mainoo. We've got Garnacho. on the other side, Garnacho, Rashford. We've got Bruno Fernandes, obviously, in behind Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund is on fire. Literally, somebody call a fire brigade and tell them that Rasmus is on fire and he needs putting out. No, let him keep burning, man, because he's good. He's good, and you forget he's only 21 years old. He's got so much to give. He gets in the right positions. He's just hard working. Reminds me a bit of Carlos Tevez, but, you know, a bit better looking. Yeah, he is a bit, yeah. But you know, what I mean by that is the work rate aspect, tenacious, you know, he'll fight for the team and he never gives defenders a moment of time. Just wanted to say thank you very much if you viewed the video. If you like what you've seen, I'm going to repeat myself again, but give the video a good old finger blasting. Give it a finger, double fingers, triple threat. That's what they used to call me back in school. They didn't. I'm lying there. Don't quote me on that one. But for United this week, today against Aston Villa, they've just been knocked out the FA Cup by Chelsea. They'll be a wounded animal. But let's sense the blood. Let's go there. Let's take the game to him. We've got Garnacho on fire. We've got Højlund on fire. Mainoo's on fire. Somebody call the fire brigade for Manchester United. Come on, United! Hey!